Liam sat alone in the quiet music chamber of the starship Orion path, his fingers resting lightly on the smooth keys of the practice piano he could not see. The ship hummed around him, alive with distant engines and the faint vibrations of interstellar travel. Though the vessel carried diplomats, scientists, and envoys from several allied worlds, most of them knew of the boy only as the blind orphan adopted by the Terran delegation. Few realized that he could hear the ship the way others heard birdsong, or that every breath of the engines painted landscapes in his mind. He was small, thoughtful, and strangely calm for someone his age, and he spent every spare moment pressing the piano keys to capture the feelings he perceived from the vessel's rhythms. Today, however, was different. Today, the legendary pianist Mira. Alden had come aboard as part of a cultural exchange between humans and the visiting Lyran and Solari envoys. Mira was known across human systems for performances that left entire auditoriums breathless. Her mastery of the piano had earned her honors from academies on Luna, Mars, and the great orbital conservatories of Terra. Yet, despite her fame, she had chosen to travel with the delegation to demonstrate that human art could stand alongside the achievements of the galaxy's finest. Across the stars, humans were still considered the newcomers, the species striving to prove itself. Mira wanted to show that humanity's heart, as much as its technology, deserved respect. She had spent the day practicing in the main auditorium, her presence attracting curious diplomats who drifted in to listen. Her performance was planned for the next evening during the gathering of the three allied cultures. It was to be a moment of unity, a symbol that music could bridge gaps even when politics struggled. When the practice ended, Myra discovered that the ship's small practice room had been arranged for her personal use. She stepped inside with a relaxed posture, expecting solitude. Instead, she heard the soft press of keys and the hesitant melody. Mira paused at the doorway as Liam played. The boy seemed unaware of her presence. His fingers floated across the keys with gentle intention, letting the notes scatter like droplets of water. The tune was unfamiliar, improvised, fragile. It was uncertain yet sincere, as though the music itself were searching for something. Myra's expression softened. Behind her, one of the Lyran delegates paused, listening with puzzled curiosity. The Lyran were tall, slender beings with delicate crystalline hair that shimmered when they moved. Their culture valued precision and order. To them, music was a mathematical expression executed with flawless symmetry. Improvisation was a concept they found strange. The Lyran delegate, Coraline, tilted her head and spoke softly, so only Myra heard. "This is a human child?" Coraline asked. "Yes," Myra replied. "His playing lacks structure." Coraline observed. Myra glanced again at the boy's small hands, moving with gentle care. "Perhaps. But music does not always need structure. Sometimes heart is enough." Coraline did not reply. Lyran rarely commented on what they did not fully understand. Myra stepped closer at last, letting her footsteps echo gently. Liam stopped playing at once. "Oh, I'm sorry." "I didn't know someone came in," Liam said. "You don't have to be sorry," Myra replied. "This room is for everyone." Liam stood awkwardly. "I'll leave if you want to practice." "You can stay," Myra said. "I heard you playing." Liam's cheeks warmed. "I was just exploring." "I'm not good." Myra smiled at the innocence in his tone. "Then play again. Play something for fun." Liam hesitated. He had heard of her. Everyone knew her name. "I'm not sure you want to hear me," he said. "I wouldn't ask if I didn't," Myra said. The Lyran delegate remained in the hall, listening with a neutral expression. Others gathered behind her silently. A Solari officer paused as well, her luminescent skin glowing faintly. One by one, curious listeners assembled. Liam felt their presence in the vibration of the floor, in the subtle shift of the ship's air currents. The awareness made his chest tighten. Mira sensed his nerves. She sat beside him on the bench, close enough to guide, but not close enough to pressure. Just for fun, she reminded him. Liam breathed in and touched the keys. He began with a soft chord, then another. He let the ship speak to him. Every vibration through the hull became part of the music. The gentle thrum of the reactor, the faint chime of distant consoles, the rhythmic pulse of the ship's stabilizers. The world around him turned into a canvas of sound. The tune that emerged was unlike the hesitant one before. It was fluid, melodic, warm. It was alive. Myra blinked in surprise. The boy was no mere hobbyist. He had instincts that defied his age. His fingers danced with freedom, weaving a tune that captured feelings more than structure. It was not technically perfect by Academy standards, but it was profoundly human, filled with emotion that seemed to radiate through every note. The Lyran listening grew unusually still. Their crystalline hair dimmed as they concentrated. The Solari officer had stopped walking altogether. Something in Liam's playing reached them across the boundaries of their cultures. He continued, shifting into harmonies that blended curiosity with hope. He played the sound of a child, sensing the stars through touch alone. He played the feeling of a ship, humming like a companion. He played the unspoken longing of someone who did not see the galaxy, but felt it deeply. As the music swelled, it carried a quiet wonder that wrapped itself around every listener. Myra's hands pressed against her chest as though steadying her heartbeat. She had performed before thousands, yet this moment humbled her. The child had no training, no reputation, no acclaim, but he had something priceless. His music held a sincerity that transcended skill. When Liam finished, silence followed, a deep, thoughtful silence. Then the Solari officer stepped forward. Her voice shimmered like soft metal. "Human boy, your music carries impressions of what you feel. Our people use light to express emotion. You use sound. This is rare. This is powerful." Coraline, the Lyran delegate, inclined her head slowly. "I do not understand your method, yet the result moved me. That is unusual." Myra placed a gentle hand on Liam's shoulder. "You astonished them," she whispered. Liam flushed. "I didn't mean to astonish anyone. I was only doing what you said, playing for fun." "That," Myra said, "is sometimes when humans shine the brightest." Word spread quickly across the Orion path. Diplomats whispered about the blind, human child whose music carried something extraordinary. Officers described how the Lyran had paused in awe and how the Solari had listened with quiet admiration. By the next morning, the story had reached the ship's captain. She invited Liam to attend the cultural performance that evening. Initially, he refused. "I'm not like them," Liam said when Mira asked him to go. "You're the performer. I'm just a kid." "You are part of humanity," Mira said. "And humanity deserves to be seen for all its voices, not only mine." When evening arrived, the great auditorium filled with the glitter of Lyran crystal hair and the soft glow of Solari skin. The Terran delegation took their seats with a mixture of excitement and nerves. Humans still held a fragile place among the Alliance. Every cultural exchange mattered. Every demonstration of human achievement shaped the way others viewed them. Mira performed first. She delivered her most celebrated piece, a majestic work that blended classical tradition with futuristic resonance. It drew admiration and polite applause from every attending species. She bowed gracefully, but her eyes drifted toward Liam at the side of the stage. When she stepped back, she spoke to the audience. "There is someone who surprised me yesterday. I asked him to play for fun. He played with heart. I asked the Alliance to listen to one more piece. Not by me, by a young human who sees in a different way." Liam froze. His cane tapped nervously on the floor. "Myra, I can't. "You can," she whispered. The audience watched as he approached the piano with hesitant steps. His fingers brushed the bench before settling onto it. He inhaled the familiar scent of polished wood and metal. He located the keys by touch. The hall remained still. Then he played. This time, his music unfurled with confidence. It painted vivid stories. He played the feeling of drifting among stars that he sensed only through vibration. He played the rhythm of hope that humans carried as they reached beyond their small world. The melody grew bold, reflecting the resilience and wonder of a species that had endured, learned, and dreamt despite its limits. He played humanity. Every species present felt it. The Lyran, who valued mathematical symmetry, heard emotion they could not calculate, but still recognized as powerful. The Solari sensed a warmth that glowed not in light, but in sound. The human delegates listened in stunned silence as the boy represented them better than any speech or treaty ever could. The final note faded. The silence afterward was different from before. It was reverent. Then applause erupted. Human hands clapped. Lyran crystals chimed in resonance. Solari emitted soft waves of radiant appreciation. The hall shimmered with unified praise. Liam bowed awkwardly, unsure how to respond. The captain of the Orion Path approached him. "Your music did more for this alliance than any debate. You reminded everyone why humanity matters." Mira knelt beside him with admiration in her eyes. "You astonished them again." "I didn't try to," Liam said. "That," Myra replied, "is your gift." In the days that followed, Liam became an unlikely symbol of human spirit aboard the ship. The Lyran invited him to learn how their tonal patterns worked, curious to see whether someone who played from feeling could interpret their structured forms. The Solari shared recordings of their harmonic light displays. Fascinated by the boy who converted emotion into music without using sight, Mira spent hours guiding him, not teaching in the traditional sense, but helping him articulate what already existed within him. She understood that her years of training had shaped her craft, but Liam's art came from a deeper sense. It flowed from the connection he had with the world through vibration, through sound, through heart. One evening, as the Orion Path drifted near a nebula blooming with silent radiance, Mira asked him a question. "Do you know why your music surprises them so much?" Liam shook his head. "Because humans feel in ways others do not," she said. "We fight, we grow, we create, and we express everything through every part of ourselves. You remind them of that. You remind them that humanity's strength is not only in what we build, but in what we feel." Liam thought about that quietly as the ship's hum vibrated beneath his feet. "I just like playing," he said. "And that is why it matters," Myra said. Weeks later, when the Orion Path docked at the Grand Diplomatic Station along the edge of Alliance territory, a small performance was scheduled again. Delegates from dozens of allied and neutral worlds gathered to witness the growing harmony among species. Mira performed as expected, but the question arose whether Liam would play as well. He agreed, though he still insisted he was not a performer. When he touched the piano, he let the station's vast mechanical heartbeat guide him. He let the swirl of voices and the quiet anticipation shape the melody. His music gained complexity and depth. He was still a child, but his world had grown. His tune spoke of unity, not as perfection, but as understanding. It echoed the feeling that despite differences, each species carried a rhythm worth hearing. When he finished, the applause again filled the hall. The Alliance had heard humanity, not the strength of its fleets or the strategy of its diplomats, but the power of its heart. HFY.humanity flourishes. Humanity lifts itself through its spirit. And sometimes, as the galaxy discovered on those journeys, humanity astonishes not with armies or inventions, but with a blind boy playing just for fun, painting the stars with music only he could hear.